Europa, przepraszam, jesteście sali?
On today's episode of Kult America, I am honored to invite the accomplished TV personality and author, Conrado Morano.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me. Thank you,
Welcome
Ryan.
to the program.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Very, very well. It's Conrado Moreno, but you may call me Conrad. Yes.
So, Conrad, I would really like to start a little bit with your background as a boy in Spain. Tell me, what did life look like?
Well, first of all, you have presented me, so I have to explain that my correct full name is Conrado Segismundo, which is Zygmunt in Polish, and two surnames, Moreno from my father and Szczypowski from my mother, because in Spain, women, when they get married, they don't change the surname. So, of course, children, they have two surnames. And I was born in Madrid. When I was almost 12, my parents decided to move to Poland because my mom, she's Polish, my father is Spanish, and I was really very happy to move from Spain to Poland.
So, as a boy in Spain, before you guys moved to Poland, what was life like?
You know, I came from a family that is, first of all, very into literature, I would say, very artistic family. Living in Spain, I was growing up in Spain, in Madrid, but I always was treated by my colleagues or my friends, not like a Spanish guy, but like a guy from apart from Poland. And then when I was coming to visit my grandparents here in Poland, I was a Spanish guy from Spain. Being a young boy, I was having a very serious questions. How it is? Who am I? You know, it was a question that I was always wondering.
Did this lack of definition of your nationality when you lived in Spain work to your advantage or to your detriment?
That's quite interesting because, of course, nowadays we associate Spain and people from Spain being very open, very friendly. But my experiences, my own experiences from my childhood were very different. So, I mean, just because of my second surname, I had a lot of problems. Old people, they were laughing because of my surname, because of my roots, my Polish roots, really. Of course, nowadays, Spain is different. That was the early 80s, so Spain was not so, I would say, so open to other cultures. So I was just like something different.
You spoke Spanish with your mother at home?
I do still speak Spanish with my mother, but my mom, she was teaching me and my sister Polish since we were children.
What year did you move to Poland?
92.
In 1992?
1992, yes.
So Poland had just kind of recently emerged from the darkness of the PRL, and your parents said, guys, we're moving to Poland. What did you expect?
I was very happy. And here in Poland, we've had a big house, a familiar house, with generations, with my grandparents. Of course, I didn't associate Polish people like at that time as my people because I really didn't know very well Polish people apart of my grandparents.
Tell me about day one in school.
It was very different because first when we came here with my sister, we came here for summer. My parents were in Spain, in Madrid. So my grandmother, I have a big luck because her Polish was brilliant and great. And that was her aim, to teach us Polish the best way she could. For me and to me very surprising was that the first day at school when I told to my new colleagues that I'm from Madrid, from Spain, there was no laughing about my roots, about my culture. The opposite, they were really amazed how did I came from Spain and how is living there. They were excited about having a colleague from Spain, so I feel very, very well.
In your adult life, you became a very recognizable TV personality. What led you to the television?
It was a coincidence. I was studying, I was at my first age of international relations, and I was teaching Spanish. And one of my alums, she told me there is going to be a TV program, you know, speaking about different cultures in television before, of course, the entry of Poland to the European Union. So people in Poland, they were very interested. They were, as we know, people in Poland, they like different cultures. They learn languages. They always want to be in a different place. They want to be better. I don't think Polish people complain because of having a lack of something, but I think that people in Poland complain because they always want to be better.
Now, you're a very dignified presenter in prestigious state media shows, but there was one moment that I think was
Yes.
quintessential in your recognizability here in Poland, involving a scooter.
Well,
in the
especially
studio.
being here in YouTube area, I wanted to start our conversation just explaining that, of course, I didn't enter today by scooter. It was a part, of course, of the program that I mentioned, lubić. The director wanted us to speak about, in general, how in Europe people drive, how they behave. A friend of us was entered in a bike, other in another thing, and told me, of course, you are the Spanish guy, you have to enter yourself in a scooter. And, I was 23, and I was wondering, that's not a big deal, of course. They told me what to do, and but of course, being in a studio with the audience, knowing that you have to enter right now, it's a little bit different. It's nervous, and I've lost the control. A part of that, YouTube was just starting to be popular in Poland, and very, very fast. I don't know how the material ran to YouTube, and of course nowadays it has passed about 11 years, but it's still very popular. Of course, whenever I walk, people really they associate myself with a guy on a scooter, so I used to it. I know it. I wanted to be, I wanted to be a man that is going to control his life, yes, and to being strong man driving a good motorcycle. Instead of that, people were laughing about myself. Well, I can do anything about this. Life is, of course, not, which is maybe very important for young people, using YouTube, using net. Life is, of course, sometimes it's making jokes of ourselves, but remember, life is not one stop part of a movie or of a movie in YouTube. So you have to keep going. Yes.
So you're well known for volunteering in hospitals and for orphanage, things of that nature. And I have to admit, before I met you, just looking at you in the television,
Yes.
I kind of thought, this is maybe a plight just, to look good, to make good PR. But I can see you're really a warm-hearted person who probably does this from a place of sincerity. Can you describe what the inside of Polish hospitals and orphanages looks like?
That's very sad. I think that from, of course, one part, a lot of work has been done and it has changed a lot, but from other hand, it's of course so far away from, for example, comparing to how that looks in Spain. I've experienced by myself being into the hospital here in Poland and seeing how the medical personnel treat old people. They are also humans, and they treat them just like, not an obligation, but I would say somehow someone came to the hospital and make me work, for example, or that's not...
They treat them as a nuisance.
Yes, yes. So I think a lot, of course, especially on that part, on that area, has to be done. You have, of course, from other part, great movements like the Wielka Orkiestra Świątecznej Pomocy, which to me is a great example of not just helping to children, but also remembering about seniors, about old people. Yes.
Just in closing, I wanted to ask if you had anything to say to people outside of Poland about Poland.
Well, I would say just Poland. Poland is an amazing country. You have, of course, to understand and learn a little bit about the Polish history. And it's really incredible that a country like that, being 20 years ago, a very great country, gray, black and white country, is very colorful. People, they like to express their individual way of being. Also, if you see how they were. So it's amazing country, very beautiful.
Thank you so much for being on our program.
Thank you.